It's rare that you would get a piece that's solid black. All the clay that I use is glacier clay. It's natural occurring. When you're a creator of three-dimensional objects, you have to be just as conscientious about the negative space as you are of the positive space. There's no glazes. It's just the clay itself.
You can definitely say Laura Wee Lay Laq's work is earthy. It comes from the earth, it honors the earth, and in the end, the earth decides the final outcome. She hand builds her pots with no potter's wheel, using time-tested techniques that are a spiritual meditation for her.
My philosophy around working with clay is that I am honoring the earth. That's first and foremost to me. When I'm working, I'm feeling the clay, I'm being very intimate with the clay, and I'm looking carefully at the clay. It's about finding out the clay's personality. Every clay body has its own unique personality. It's the pinching and it's the thinning out of the walls so that everything becomes even.
Before firing the pots, rather than use glaze, she burnishes them to put a natural shine on the clay.
And I take a smooth stone, my favorite is a flint stone that I have, and I rub the surface in a repetitive motion in order to align the clay particles is what's happening. And that's what causes the surface to reflect light. And it takes hours sometimes to burnish a piece.
After all that meticulous technique, she lets nature and chance determine the final outcome. She fires the pots in a primitive process that uses sawdust and produces completely unpredictable results, which of course is her plan.
What's happening is the sawdust is slowly burning down. There's sawdust inside the vessel, around the vessel, and it's lit from the top and it slowly burns down over 2 to 4 days. And as it's burning, it's releasing carbon because there's no flame. You don't want flame or oxidation. You want it to be smoldering and carbon being released from the sawdust. And that carbon enters into the clay body and produces this dark, rich color. When that happens, magic takes place because I have not put a glaze on it and said, okay, I'm putting that glaze on it because I want it to be red or blue. I'm offering it back to the elements and saying, I want you to have the final say. And so when I do this, they don't always come out black like this. They come out with very different patterns and things. Sometimes there's ravens, sometimes there's whales, sometimes there's just spirit faces that come out. And I kind of like this one because for some reason it reminds me of a fox. I don't know why, but I feel like it's got a fox image in it. With my particular process of firing, and this is a very conscious choice that I've made, I am not trying to make it become something that I want it to be at the end result. So that's why when I fire it and I give it back to the earth, to the sawdust, to the elements, it has the final statement. And so I'm never, ever disappointed. It could crack into smithereens, but I would have always learned something from it.